Texture assignment number 3. This is cardboard. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to be using our pencils and your little stub or your finger, and we are going to draw cardboard. Now, sometimes I get what I'm about to do, which is no good. So, okay, yes, I see that, but people will just make a rectangle, and then they'll just go messy like that. Please don't do that. Okay, so let's think about cardboard. Yes, it does have lines in it. Some are charcoal, some are gray, some are light gray, and some are very light gray, and then we've got the white. Okay, and then, so since we're talking about texture, this texture, the smooth side, is different than the broken ends, right? And so think back to your textures and from here, and think back to trying to make the edges rough here and bristly there. So what we want to do is create cardboard. It's beautiful, it's interesting. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's do this again, where I'm going to take my marker. So that's about 6.5, so 3 1/4. I'm making myself a little graph. Since I did center this when I was creating this page, I know that's centered. You might as well just go with it. There, lightly, not very dark. Don't press hard because it won't erase. Okay, so this is 4. So we're going to do obviously half of that is 2 and 2. So this one's going to be 2 1/8 because it's a bigger square, bigger rectangle. 2 1/8. Lightly. Okay, we're going to do this again. So we know that that is 3 1/4, so 1 1/2, and 1 5, let's see, 3, so 1 1/2. 1 5/8. So you're going to make it 1 5/8. 1/8, 2 8, 3 4 5. That one's bigger, so 1 5/8. I made the squares bigger because I do have some very, I don't know. I have students who sometimes want to copy this and lay it under and trace it, and that defeats the whole purpose. So let's not do that. It won't be the same size. I made them separate and different sizes for that purpose. So please go this way with me. If you are doing the assignments every single day, 1 assignment per day, then you will have plenty of time to finish everything correctly and be proud of yourself. So 1 1/2, and then 1 2 3 16. Go 1 1/2 and 3 16. 1 2 3. Okay. So draw that in. That should be enough. I mean, you can make more of a graph if you want to. And all you have to do is just keep dividing if you want. So at this point, we're going to start here in the top corner. This corner, so that's the half mark right here. This is above it, about like that. And then you're going to come around. It has a little bit of a curve. There you go. That's this little piece right here. Now we've got that little curve coming off of it. And slight curve. And then, okay, here's the middle, there's a fourth of it, there's a fourth of it. So it's a little over the side there, right here. I'm going to make a curve. It's kind of a circle, in fact, it looks like. Okay. And so now we're going to go, here's the half mark, so there's a half, and it's kind of rough, straight, has a little cut there, come across. This is jagged, got a nice little piece there. So basically you're making a diagonal towards the corner. Mine's a little high, no big deal, just erase it. Then you've got cardboard, kind of a curvy situation here, and this one's broken. Okay, that was one rectangle, so you can see how fast that goes. Don't think too hard about it. Put some music on, you know, get your kids a little game to play, pet your dog, and then tell them you're busy for a little bit, watch some TV, you know, get some water, and just sit down and work on this. It won't take you that long. That took me maybe a minute or two. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 minutes. And now we're going to shade. So here we go. That's squint. This is black, charcoal, gray, light gray, and we're going to call this sort of a white. I would start off with my blackest places first, and I would use kind of the side of my pencil. I'm just going to focus on this one corner to show you how to do it. Okay, the black comes down. So a lot of times, I think our minds go running away with us. So people will look at a drawing like this and they'll say, oh, that's so hard. But what they're really saying is, I didn't plan my week well, so I don't have time enough to do a good job. That's why I have the time on task for you to do, so that you can have everything done. Because I'm lightening up now, because this is kind of a middle tone gray, so I'm going to lighten up on my hand. I'm going all the way to the edges. It's a little lighter there, but not totally white. And this is dark too, but not as dark as that. Same thing here. Okay, and now for this piece, we're going to do the lines. So what I'm saying is, let's go back to the point. The point is that people say, well, I don't want to spend that much time doing that. Well, you need to commit it to memory. And I promise you, if you do this, you will appreciate cardboard so much more. Not only that, you'll really like yourself. Because you'll say, I love that. You know, I really love that. So now we're looking at the lines. And it has a little bit of a gray, it's right there. So please, 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 I know you have other classes, but please make this important to you, okay? So that's done, and let's go back to black. It's charcoal, black. And we're going to leave this little white line. I'm having so much fun. Okay, so now it's getting even lighter here, so I'm going to leave that alone. Oh yay, we're back to this again. I love it. Okay, not everywhere. Not everywhere. Okay. Alright, So now at this point, I'm going to get my stub. I'm going to leave some of it rough, and I'm going to smooth out some of it. So not everything is going to get smoothed, because I want to keep a little bit of that rough texture in places. But up here for sure, I'm going to try to smooth some of that out. Don't just go because it'll become one color. Leave some of your edges rough. Okay, so now that you've done one, you see how fast that can go? You can come back with your eraser in places if you want to and erase back lines, or make sure that the texture is really clean and beautiful. Okay, and at this point, please listen to me. Erase your grid. Okay, erase your grid. And now I'm going to lightly erase this, and we can keep going both directions. And then erase your grid and keep going and keep going. And when you're totally finished, you can come back in. If you happen to have a pencil in your house that's really, really dark, it sure would be nice to come back in and add a little bit. See how much that helped? Just really popped. So sometimes you'll have a pencil that looks like this. It's super light, and then some are very dark. So come back in and refine, make it really extra special. There you go. So that will be what you do for, I think, day 3. Either day 3 or day 4. So there you go.